All right, welcome back to another Mr. Pisto Plays Magic the Gathering Arena Brawl gameplay session and deck tech. We are here with VORINCLEX Monstrous Raider, 6 mana, 6/6. There was so much hype. Phyrexians in Kaldheim. What's going on? The lore behind him is really cool. I would highly recommend checking the lore out. He is a 6/6 for 6, like I said, trample haste. If you would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. And if an opponent would put one or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead, rounded down. So it's a counter hoser. And it's just a 6 mana, 6/6 treble haste. It does so many things. All right, let's look at what kind of things interact with 1/1 counters. At first, I didn't really think there were many, but turns out there's a lot more than I thought. All right, we have Snakeskin Veil, one of the new commons. One green mana. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until the end of turn. The Ozolith. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on Ozolith. So if VORINCLEX is out, something has a counter, you move it to Ozolith, it gets 2, and then you can move them out, and then those 2 turn into 4, and it just escalates. Quite cool. Boreal Outrider. One of the reasons why we're playing Snow-covered Force in the deck. 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if Snow of any of that spell's colors was spent to cast it, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter. Hydra's Growth is an aura enchantment for 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of 1/1 counters on enchanted creature. VORINCLEX doubles and then doubles again. Pretty cool. Invigorating Surge. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then double the number of 1/1 counters on that creature. So put VORINCLEX the initial, you put 2 on because of VORINCLEX, and then you double. It gets insane. And math, I've swung for 25 once, and that was just with bare minimum counters. This card is busted in on VORINCLEX. The Scale of the Heights. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. You gain 2 life. You may play an additional land this turn and draw a card. I didn't really find a place for this before. I think it's found its home in VORINCLEX. Rhada, Call of the Hunt, is a star 3 where its power is equal to your devotion to green. It costs 4 mana, and when creatures enter the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter. Great Henge taps for 2 and you gain 2 life. It costs 9 mana, but it costs X less, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, and whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. Coil Serpent. With VORINCLEX out, this thing gets ridiculously big. It's X and has reach and trample protection from multicolored, and it enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. So with VORINCLEX out, it's doubled. Primal Might. This goes over here. Wildwood Scourge is a 0/0, but it enters the battlefield with X counters on it. Whenever one or more 1/1 counters are put on another non-Hydra creature you control, put a 1/1 counter on Wildwood Scourge. Here again, VORINCLEX out. It's a big, beefy thing. Any other 1/1 counter things that you think might be worth playing in VORINCLEX? Comment in the comments below. Like, subscribe, notify, so you get all my content right away. You don't miss a video. All right, Gilded Goose, some ramp. Now not the only 1 mana ramp spell, but the only 1 mana ramp spell that makes sense to play. The 1 mana 0/2 with flying, enters, create a food token, pay a green and a colorless to create another food token, or sacrifice a food token, add 1 mana of any color. Illusion Curated is a 2 mana 1/1, taps for any color. If you have a creature with power 4 or greater, taps for 2 of any color. Lotus Cobra, 2 mana 2/1, has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 color of mana. Sculptor of the Winter, another reason why we're playing snow-covered lands, and we're playing all the different, or the 2 enchant land ramp spells. You can pay 2 for a 2/2, taps untap Snowland. And if you have Wood Willow Haven on that Snowland, you can tap it for 2, untap it, tap it for 2 again. Just so good. 2 mana, Enchantment Aura, enchant land. Whenever land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional green. You pay 5 and sacrifice it to create 2 Wolf A 2/2 green wolf creature token only during your turn. We have Tangled Florahedron as a land, but it's also a 2-mana 1/1 that taps for green. Cultivate, sorcery, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, put one on the battlefield tapped, the other in your hand, and shuffle your library. The other enchantment aura, enchant land. Enchanted land is snow, glittering for frost. The 3-mana aura enchantment. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. We have Migration Path. Search for 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, shuffle your library. Late game, you can cycle it. For 2, Vastwood Surge, 4 mana, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. Late game, if you have 8 mana, you can kick it to put 2 1/1 counters on each creature you control. With VORINCLEX, that's 4 1/1 counters on each creature you control. Right, removal. Blizzard Brawl, another reason we're playing snow covered forests. Another new card. Choose target creature you control and target creature you don't control. You control 3 or more snow permanents. The creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains indestructible until the end of turn. Then those creatures fight each other. Inscription of Abundance is 2 mana to choose one of them, or 5 mana to choose them all. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, and target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Ram through, 2 mana instant. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. The creature you control has trample, excess damage that is dealt to that creature's controller instead. So you get to swing in with VORINCLEX, use it, hit something else, trample over, and then use VORINCLEX to trample on through again and deal like double damage. Struggle of Skemfar. Foretell, one of the only Foretell cards, I think the only Foretell card I'm playing in the deck. For 4 mana, you can put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Or you can pay 2 mana to Foretell it, and then pay 1 mana for its Foretell cast later. And you get a 1 mana 1/1 counter with fight. Kogla, the Titan Ape. I love this card. One of my favorite green cards. When it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. When it attacks, you destroy a target artifact or enchantment. You can pay a green and a colorless to return a human card. Creature you control to its owner's hand, it gains indestructible until the end of the turn. Fortunately, we don't get to use that last clause in the deck, but still a 7/6 for 6 mana is pretty good. And then Primal Might, that used to be in our 1/1 counter slot, but it's actually a removal spell. Green and an X. Target creature gets +X/+X until end of turn and fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Putting that on a trample creature, such as VORINCLEX, makes for a big dude. Right, we got some other creatures. We have the Nessian Hornbeetle, 2 mana 2/2, and at the beginning of your combat on your turn, you control another creature with power 4 or greater, put a 1/1 counter on it. 1 counter. Scavenging Ooze, some graveyard hate. Pay a green, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a 1/1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and you gain 1 life. Old Growth Troll. I wanted to play the new cards. We're not playing all of them, but we are playing some of them. 4 mana, 3 mana, 4/4 trample. When it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield as an aura enchantment with enchant forest you control, and that forest has tapped at 2 green mana, or pay 1, sacrifice this land, create a tapped 4/4 green troll warrior creature token with trample. Ooh, lots of text. Yorvil, Lord of Garenbrig, is a 3 mana 0/0, but enters battlefield with 4 1/1 counters. VORINCLEX enters with 8. Whenever a green creature enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on it. Then, if that creature's power is greater than Yorvil's, put another 1/1 counter on it. Gem Razor, reach trample 4 mana 4/4, but you can mutate. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Questing Beast, the green way of dealing with planeswalkers. It's a 4 mana 4/4 vigilance, death touch, haste. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. Whenever Questing Beast deals damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. Ooh. These cards have so much text on them. Elder Gargaroth is a 5 mana 6/6 vigilance reach trample. Whenever Elder Gargaroth attacks or blocks, choose 1. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token. You gain 3 life or draw a card. Then we have Iron Scale Hydra. It's a 5 mana 5/5. If creature deal combat damage to Iron Scale Hydra, prevent that damage and put a 1/1 counter on it. More 1/1 counter stuff. We have Heroic Intervention. We have some non-creature spells. 2 mana instant. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn. Once Upon a Time. Digging for land or creatures. If it was the first spell you cast, it's free. And then after that, it's 2 mana. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can reveal a land or creature card from among them. Put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library. Dig for that land you need early, creature you need late. Wilt. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. 2 mana instant, or you can cycle it if you have nothing to hit it with. Balaged Recovery and Balaged Sanctuary. As the land, it's a green mana that enters play tapped. As a spell, you return target card from your graveyard to your hand for 3 mana. We have Vivian Monster's Advocate. 5 mana, 3 Loyalty Planeswalker. You can look at the top card of your library at any time, and you can cast creature spells from the top of your library. +1 is you get a green beast creature token that you can either put Reach, Vigilance, or Trample onto it. Usually it's Reach for the first couple, then Vigilance afterwards. And then whenever you cast your next creature spell this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser converted mana cost, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle your library. That's its -2. VORINCLEX out you +2, -2, +2, -2. Works pretty well. And our last spell is Turn Timber Symbiosis, 7 mana for a sorcery. Look at the 7 cards of your library. You can put a creature card from among them on the battlefield. If that creature was converted mana cost 3 or less, it enters with 3 additional 1/1 counters on it. And then you put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. We have 16 snow-covered forests, Castle Garenbrig to play VORINCLEX on turn 5. Taps to add, play 4, and tap it to add 6. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. Crawling Barrens, because I thought, hey, why not? 1/1 counters. And Tyrite Sanctum. Pay a colorless, or taps for colorless. You can pay 2. Target creature you control becomes a god in addition to its other types. Put a 1/1 counter on it. You can pay 4. Sacrifice Tyrite Sanctum. Put in an indestructible counter on target god. So you can turn your VORINCLEX into a god and then into an indestructible god. That is my build, my version of VORINCLEX Monstrous Raider. Right, let's get into some games. So no ramp, Mr. Last Spider Ninja. This is a mulligan. We got a ramp spell and a pseudo ramp spell. We end up drawing into lots of lands. We're definitely playing. We're going to do this first. We forgo the 1/1 counter. That's just the way it is. Where were you last turn? We're going to cultivate. And the next turn we can play this land, this. Oh, they're going ham too. This. This. This counter goes here. Land. Next in turn. Okay. Fight spell. Yes. Probably wasn't the ideal way of doing it. 3. Huh? Oh wait. Is 2. Or do I just, no, I don't need to do that. I can just do this. No, I need to do that because I tap my mana bad. That had to go. There was no choice there. That had to go. Sure. Okay. Alright, so we go 1, 2, 3. This. Place, no. All attack. There. Just in case they have some kind of trickery, we're gonna keep this up. There it is again. They have 3 mana now. No land drop. This is good for us. That doesn't do me any good right now. Back with all. Blow it up again. Do they have something at its speed? Good game. That's what we're trying to do. Make counters, attack quick. All right, let's get into another one. We are up against Murbit playing Rhada. Probably aggro. Got Once Upon a Time. We got a ramp spell. Hopefully this can find us another ramp spell. And we'll see what happens. We definitely, as they mulliganed. We're gonna keep. Make our doggo the cool color. The goose is loose. Guess we get a land. Another land. Swamp. Turn 2 Rhada? No. That's pretty good. Wish I had one of those in my hand right now. These two play very well together. Well, I get a 2/2. Without ramp, the deck is it's a deck. No lands. No lands. 1 land in hand. 2 lands in hand. For 2. Alright, deck, I don't need any more lands. I might just end up having to play this. I can make this a 4/4 and blow this up. This can't get bigger. Don't have the mana for it. I'll take 5. 6, right? Yeah. Ember Cleave. Wow. Good thing I held on to this. Bye Ember Cleave. I play a 2/2 just to block. This is 100% going there, and I think I'm playing Kogla. This gets really big with VORINCLEX. Land off the top. Land off the top. Force them to do that. Haunter. This thing's annoying. I'll make a giant one of these, they fight it and kill us. Guess we VORINCLEX? No, we have to do it. Nope. Green does not have a way to deal with a Brash Taunter. You literally go wait, boom, wait, boom, game over. Phylath. We are not winning this game, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, people of the internet. Now they're just toying with it. Well, we'll do this, because why not? VORINCLEX is definitely going into my Phylath build. You don't have... Yeah, you can do it! Come on! End us. There's 8. Here comes another 8. You don't just end us, I'm ending us. Thank you for ending us. Alright. Let's get into another game. Alright, Lunchboxicus, what do you got for us? We have ramp. Not much more. This is turn whatever. Turn 4. VORINCLEX. Think we get out the Cobra first. Cobra gives us some explosive plays. Go find your red source. They are playing snow. This card's good. Evolving Wilds. Land, please. That's good. Green. And play this. Into this. Into... I should have played that differently. Now, no. Should have played this into this, because then I could have this. Okay, we still got the turn 4. Changelings. What's he gonna name? Plant. Nothing I can do with 1 mana. And we bash. Turn. No fight. Put a counter on something. Or 2 counters. Sure. They left 1 red. This searches for any land. I didn't realize that. Maybe I'm not crediting as much as I should. Only we could give things haste. I do want to do this. Use VORINCLEX because I want to get that exposed to a removal spell. And we win. There you go. VORINCLEX counter aggro for the dub. Alright, I think we got 1 more in us. Let's do this. Alright, Picado de Odin. This could be annoying, but we will keep it. Death Touch sucks. We may actually get to cast this. We can hold on to it for a while. Death Touch, Death Touch, Death Touch, Death Touch. Yay, yay, yay. I love Death Touch. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of play against Death Touch. Have the turn 5 VORINCLEX. This is actually something that's what does this do? Okay. This pay 3 green. I'm gonna get out of VORINCLEX. Boot Nipper. Death Touch Tribal. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies for 1. And there, we'll do this. And we'll do this. And we'll do nothing. You have to have a removal spell for this Iron Scale Hydra, or yeah. I don't think. Let's see if they attack. Do they realize what this does? Okay. They don't. Well, they don't mind. I guess they don't mind losing their thing. So we your roll. Hydra here. And we attack. eventually. Huh? Why? Interesting. Okay. Probably get rid of this. They'll find a removal spell for this eventually. They're playing black. Don't need that anymore. Though that does draw them a card. That might not have been the best idea in the world. Draw them into removal. Deal combat damage. Guess I can fight. Yep. Oh, am I losing Orville? This gives it. I'm gonna do that. That was dumb. Gives it trample. And that. Fingers crossed. Did they draw a removal spell? If they cast their general, Chevill, that tells me they didn't. Thinking so long tells me they didn't too. Don't have the land. And that's game. Get to attack with a 64-65. Boom! Boom. And that's what we're trying to do. 1-1 counters, baby. Alright, cool. We will do a little bit of a post game and call it a video. Thanks for watching. Here we go. Alright, VORINCLEX Monstrous Raider. As much fun as I thought it would be, it is. Getting to put 1-1 counters on and attacking for 67 damage with the Hydra. This card is really cool. I'm definitely going to start playing with it more in my other green decks. We didn't get to do the shenanigans of the invigorating surge, but we got to do other things. We got to have fun with VORINCLEX himself. We got to ramp. We got to see the power of Lotus Cobra. I honestly misplayed it a couple of times, but or a time at least. Sculptor of Winter, I think, is a very underrated ramp spell, especially when you have cards like Glittering Frost and where are you? Wolf Willow Haven, along with our Snowlands. Having Snowlands now in Historic is really cool, and maybe that'll push for other things to come into Historic. Ozolith is very neat. The Serpent can get very big. Yeah. Other ways to build this deck, I thought of going like more aggressive with cards like Chain Web Arachneer and other things that actually put 1-1 counters on creatures. But I thought a more mid-rangey approach with a few top end kind of things was the way to go. You could go and just ramp city and play all the big things. You play all the big Beanstalk Giant, actually something I missed and should have put in the deck. That's okay. Obviously it did well. But things like Rampaging Brontodon, Thorn Mammoth, even something like Titanaloth. This card's also pretty cool. 5/7 Vigilance. Whenever it becomes a target of an ability your opponent controls, draw 2 cards. This card, I learned something today, that it's any land. So you could go search up your things here. This may be added in some way, shape, or form. But there are lots of different ways that you could use VORINCLEX. And I chose the mid-range version. Whether you could play aggro, you could play Stompy in the Stompy ramp, but I thought mid-range was the way to go. All right, thanks for watching. I'm Mr. Pisto. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. Bye for now.